Hi guys, welcome back to Zimzam Entertainment. To my sub-cousins, you guys, you know it. I got nothing but love for you guys. And to all others that are passing by, thank you so much for passing by on this channel. No YouTubers left behind. So please subscribe to other YouTubers as well. Woo, guys, so hey, there's been scandal after scandal in Zimbabwe. So, the Vice President of Zimbabwe, Kembo Mohadi. No, he's not Mohadi, he's Kembo Mohadi. I've said Kembo Mohadi because I was watching the skit from Bus Stop. It's a Tembo Mohadi. Guys, ay. Anyway, so, as you all know, there's been some audio circulating, purporting to be the vice president soliciting sex from married women. Guys, anyway, the vice president, Mohadi, has actually denied these audios. He claims that somebody is out there to get him and all those things. But guys, you know, it's, to me, it's like, what were those audios about? And who could be behind those audios if indeed it's true that he's saying it was his enemies' political machinations. Machino. Hey, whether it was the vice president's voice or not, this is something very serious to think about, guys. How does a whole vice president of a country have his security compromised like that? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. Whether it was him or his voice was being cloned, like he claims, it still does not make sense. It still doesn't make it right. Something is wrong somewhere. Anyway, so this is my take, of course, as Zimzam. So I was thinking, remember when Mliswa's nyayas with Susan were hot, and then he made his press conference, and then he named a person that he alleged was behind Project Susan. He said Owen Muda, who happens to be the Minister of State in the President's Office for Security. So, guys, boom. This guy, Temba, names this guy's name, okay? And it wasn't even two days or 3 days, audio start coming out about the vice president. And you know how we are as human beings, we switched quickly to the vice president's audios and forgot about Muda, this Minister of State Security. So, anyway, have you guys subscribed? It is free. Eh? I really don't need to keep reminding you guys that it is free. So whether you're watching from your cell phone or from your TV, hey, just click. Anyway, so I'm thinking something fishy, something somewhere, somehow. Anywho, like I was saying, we all switched from Muda, Susan, and Mliswa to Mohadi, listening to these audios, which went viral, and it was like one after the other coming out. So, I was thinking, is Mohadi the first politician to have engagements with married women? Is he? Because, as I recall, Robert Gabriel Mugabe, the late president of Zimbabwe, he had an affair with a married woman who happened to be Grace Mugabe. So, who knows whether they did or they did not do things in the Monomtapa building? Who knows? Who can solemnly swear that it did not happen. See? So, and you know, it went as far as the journalists that reported, that broke the news about Mugabe's intentions to marry Grace, you know, were even jailed. Others even went into exile. So, what is so special about the Mohadi Wani that everybody's so up in arms, up in arms? Yeah. We should not be talking about Mohadi's sex escapades. We should be wondering why and how he's being, as a vice president, why and how is he being embarrassed, or he's humiliated, and why is it easy for a vice president's phone calls to be, you know, released to the public, whether it's being bagged or tapped? Why should it be that easy for a vice president's conversations? Why? That is where my question is. That is what I'm interested in. So for me, I think the Minister of State in the President's Office for Security, this Owen Muda, has a case to answer, because it is his responsibility to ensure that such breaches should never ever happen. So if they are happening under his watch, what's going on? What is going on? That's all I'm saying. Oh, it means somebody sleeping on their job. Somebody is sleeping on their job. Because it should not happen. These things should not happen. And mind you, I am not condoning Mohadi's behavior of whatever, sex with married women or whatever it is that is doing. I'm not condoning it, you know. But what I do not understand is how, as a vice president, guys, we are talking about a vice president of a country. That is where my concern is. My concern is not about him doing married women and you know the times I had in Zimbabwe. So I'm assuming if married women decided to engage with the vice president, they were probably also trying to help out their families. That's all I'm saying. Oh, me, I'm not saying where. I'm just saying times are hard in Zimbabwe. So everybody is trying to survive. So if a vice president even looks your way, if a vice president looks your way, are you going to say no? If you don't have sugar and the bread and the milk in the house for your children and family, I'm just saying. I'm not saying they were correct. I'm just putting it out there. So, like I'm saying, somebody sleeping on the job for a vice president's phone calls to be tapped, listened to, and released to the public. That is what should be worrying people. Even if it means political rivalry, people fighting with each other, and somebody wanting his spots, his posts, even at that, releasing supposedly private conversations and phone calls, that just sends a wrong message to the enemies of the state. I mean, whoever is behind it, if at all, should think some of these things through. It is more than embarrassing. It is humiliating that a whole vice president can have his conversations recorded and released to the public. That's a breach of security, or his privacy, whatever section, whatever act, whatever it is that is also quoting. Whoever is behind it, the cloner of the voice, whoever's cloned his voice like he's alleging, you need to think some of these things through. And then I read somewhere, actually I have it right here, where it says, it says, sex scandal involving Zimbabwe vice president rocks country. 71-year-old Kembo Mohadi refuses to resign. What do you mean refuses to resign? Who asked him to resign? Who asked him to resign? Because there was no statement from the president, Idi Mnangagwa, that came out to say, I expect you to resign or whatever. What's wrong with people resigning? And also here, it also says, it says, it says Zimbabwe News, in the wake of the highly publicized scandal, some women's rights groups have demanded Kembo Mohadi's resignation. Here, it's right here. I don't know if you guys can read this. Some women's rights groups have demanded Kembo Mohadi's resignation. Now hold on. Women, hold on, no. You so-called women's rights groups, Women's rights groups, where have you been when we were seeing Mary Chiwenga's hands being eaten up and whatever? We don't even know where this girl is. Where have you guys been? Human rights groups, women or women. But she's still a woman also. You have Mary Chiwenga, watch. Where have you been? We have not said anything, Dololo. So, for me, I mean, of course, the VP defended himself and said the political machinations, whatever. So, it makes some people, some of us who are already suspicious that something fishy was going on, to really, believe that something really fishy is going on. So, who amongst the women's rights group, who's in charge of that group? Who amongst them wants Mohadi's spot? Who? Or who knows who wants Mohadi's spot? Or whatever the reason is for all this humiliation and cantankerous behavior. The women's rights. So how many things have happened to women? How many things have happened to women in Zimbabwe? Let me tell you, let me not even go far and talk about abuses in the homes or scandals in public office and all that. Let me even go something simple. The women who are going hungry without food to feed their families, both in the villages and in the cities, is that not women's rights being abused? The women who don't have contraceptives, women who don't have pads, women's rights groups. I've never heard anything. The number of deaths that is happening to women at childbirth, where there's no proper hospital, proper facilities, proper this. Where have the women's rights groups been? So today in 2021, there is all of a sudden women's rights groups because a vice president has decided to show the world that he also can be, he also can want the F word. He can also ask for the fork words, using fork and knife. Because he also wants that. All of a sudden there's a women's rights group that is demanding his resignation. Guys, let's not have these double standards. We need to stop this double standard behavior. Anyway, that's all I had for you guys. That's all I had for you. I just had to say something. I had to say something. Each person is proven, each person is innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying that man does not do jingling. No. I'm just wondering why has it been blown out in such a manner through phone calls that are supposed to be private. That is where that is where my problem is. That is where my problem is. If one of those women had gone to the police or stood up and said, hey, Vice President has done ABCD to me and I want justice, that would have been a different story altogether. that would have been a different story altogether. But recorded conversations of a person who does not know, and mind you, you can't even use that in a court of law. Huh? You cannot use a recorded conversation if you do not have permission to record from the judge, or if you did not notify the person that the conversation is being recorded. So, guys, whoever. Anyway, guys, don't forget, on this platform, no YouTubers left behind. So please subscribe to other YouTube channels as well. I will see you guys in the next video. To my sub cousins. Hey! Mwah!